From classroom veterans to first-time teachers, the National Science Teachers Association's annual conference and expo is the premier place for educators who want to explore best practices and next-level engagement approaches for inspiring students in science and STEM. Welcome back to Day 2 of NSTA Atlanta23. I'm Matria Godfrey, and this is NSTA TV, where we bring you specially curated content from the largest gathering of professional science teachers in the country. Today, we are putting the spotlight on an ongoing battle within the education profession, teacher burnout. We will start off by highlighting a new keynote series of teachers' voices to showcase authentic voices often missing in the overall narrative. Plus, from the International Space Station straight to our studio, NASA astronaut Megan McArthur discusses her time in outer space. And we continue our tour across the world of the organizations and institutions at the forefront of new technologies and scientific teaching methods that you can take straight to your own classroom. There is so much exciting content to see, and we want to make sure you don't miss a minute. Remember, you can find the latest NSTA TV episodes on the NSTA conference homepage, on the TVs placed throughout the conference center, on in-house channel 89 here at the Omni, or in-house channel 80 at the Westin. Plus, you can also find all our latest episodes and content on our Twitter and YouTube pages. We start off this exciting second day with 4 inspiring, passionate educators who are sharing engaging and inclusive strategies for humanizing science education, and they are all doing so by drawing on their own teaching experiences.
I focused on how students and teachers can build on their sense of place and how that looks in the classroom. I hope that educators take away that they have wonderful knowledge from their places. And this knowledge, whether they teach in the same community that they went to school in, or they recently moved into an area, that we all have opportunities to engage in our environments, to engage in our communities, and bring that knowledge into our classroom.
I talked a lot about the isolation feeling that teachers feel in our classrooms, and one of the strategies that I use to combat that is co-teaching. And then I also talked about how a lot of our students also feel isolated in their classrooms and the importance of representation and making sure that their students can see themselves in your classroom. I found that if I work with other departments like our English teacher, our librarians, our PE teacher, and come up with ways that we can bring all of our students together in those classes, that it allows us to build those things together. And then when we do need to make all these decisions, there's someone right next to you that's helping you do it, and you feel like a team. And it also shows our students that we're a team and we all have a common goal.
I talked today with the group about the importance of providing background knowledge as opposed to just eliciting background knowledge, and that when we allow our students to have a common background experience, that they can then use that as a common foundation to move forward and make our learning more authentic. It's important because if we assume that students have certain background knowledge or only rely on the background knowledge that they currently have, then they come into our classrooms with very different foundations, and so then when we move forward to bring in the new knowledge, then they already are in different playing field.
What a great way to start off the NSTA conference with the actual T. To be able to have these teachers who are leaders in their building, they're leaders in the nation, and to be able to really hear from them and their passion and what they're doing really gives us that whole warm, fuzzy feel, but also gives us great hope for where we're going to go in the future.
As we continue this focus on teacher burnout, is there a world where teachers can reignite their passion for the profession and lead sustainable lives? Well, that's the idea behind modern classrooms. Let's see how this approach works.
It's a new generation of learners, so we have to change up what we've been doing for the past few hundred years in education.
The Modern Classroom Project is just a way of kind of blending learning, allowing students to engage with the material through instructional videos that the teachers create, and then students are able to show that they've mastered the content before they move on to the next piece.
if they're able to learn at their own pace, as a teacher being a facilitator now and not just sitting up there, during direct instruction, I'm able to have more of that one-on-one conversation and see exactly, okay, where is the little bitty small gap? Fill it right then and there. Well, then now you're back right where you need to be. I'm glad I tried it. I love it.
We have to continue to evolve because technology is forcing us to evolve. And education should not be the last to embrace how technology can transform our industry.
No burnout here just yet. We hit the first timers session early this morning to hear from those enjoying their very first NSTA conference.
This session was just to get first-timers to kind of understand NSTA and the conferences. It was really nice to just be able to come here and learn more about NSTA and the format.
They organized a really fun, really informative session to kind of orient everybody to like the things they can expect about being here at NSTA. I wanted to come to NSTA to have the chance to connect with people who love science as much as I do and who are passionate about giving students the opportunity to connect with science in all kinds of settings.
I am just starting teaching and I really wanted to make connections and learn what the newest stuff is and just learn a lot of good material.
I'm really hoping to take some good connections. I've already made some with one exhibitor who is trying to do a mining thing, so that's really exciting. We might be a site to be able to use that. And then also to be able to get more information that I can help redeliver to my team so that I keep making my education team the best educators we have in the area.
Up next, discover the inspiring impact of STEM Nola on students and teachers and learn about its mission to provide accessible and engaging STEM education to underserved communities. Let's see firsthand how STEM Nola is empowering learners to engage with STEM topics and creating a brighter future for all.
STEM Nola provides a lot of opportunities for students and families and the community to engage in STEM activities, from events on Saturday that engages families and community members, as well as college students and professionals, all the way to professional development for teachers and in-class sessions for students, as well as after-school sessions. The programming has been very hands-on and really interactive. It's helped me go to the next level to prep materials and to make sure that all of the materials are things that the students can access and work with.
When we started STEM Nola, I used to say, every Saturday in America there's 1 million kids playing football and basketball, and one day I'd like to see 1 million kids doing STEM. I used to say that jokingly, but now a goal of STEM Nola is to take our model and replicate it in cities, urban and rural, across this country to the point where we have 1 million kids doing STEM on Saturday, doing hands-on STEM, getting the skills that they need, that they would need in the 21st century.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to try to conduct science experiments in outer space? We've got someone here in studio who actually knows. Joining us now is NASA astronaut Megan McArthur, along with NASA's K-12 education advisor, Cindy Hasselbring. Thanks to you both. Thank you.
Thanks.
Megan, I want to get started with you. Now, in total, you have spent more than 200 hours in outer space. Can you talk a little bit about some of the various missions that you've been on? And then, of course, the question that I just have to ask, what's it like in outer space?
Yes, so on my very first mission, I flew on the Space Shuttle Atlantis to fix the Hubble Space Telescope, and we spent about 13 days in space. And then my second mission was just in 2021, and we spent 200 days on the International Space Station, living and working, conducting science experiments, technology demonstrations, and having a lot of fun.
I mean, you're up there for almost a year, creeping up on a year. Do you get bored at all? What's it like looking down and seeing Earth?
Well, Earth is so beautiful that whenever we did have free time, that is absolutely what we would do, is look out, maybe take pictures of favorite places, wave as you go over your friend's house kind of thing. And you cannot ever get bored of that. Looking at our beautiful planet is just, it's remarkable. And I felt lucky to get the chance to do it.
Talk a little bit about some of the science experiments that you conducted, and did anything turn out differently than you expected, maybe went awry?
Certainly, sometimes you have an experiment that's not working, or you're not able to do the work exactly in the way you've been instructed to do it. We're fortunate that we have an expert sort of looking over our shoulder via camera, somebody on Earth that's helping us, work through an experiment, and we can give them feedback as well, like, hey, this task that you wanted me to do, the way you wanted me to mix these liquids, it's not working. And as I'm the expert in the local environment, right, I need to give them feedback on how can we do this better, how can we still get the science that you want to get. So I love that collaborative nature of it. Was a lot of fun for me.
Interesting. All right, Cindy, let's talk a little bit about your position. And really, for all the young boys and girls that say, I want to be an astronaut one day, you are very active in trying to make that a reality.
Absolutely. And I was one of those kids that wanted to be an astronaut. Yes. So it's amazing to sit here next to Megan, actually. So when we talk about Artemis, which is the mission going to the moon and Mars, we have a number of challenges to really get students' hands dirty, so to speak, and get them involved in helping us solve the challenges that our professionals are currently facing. So we have an app development challenge where kids are designing an app that can be used for the Artemis program. We have Lunabotics, we have human exploration rover challenges. So all those challenges that our professionals are experiencing, we try to get kids to actually be involved in how to solve them.
And Cindy, I'm sure, when you have real life events happening, in the now, that it's much easier to get students engaged and interested in it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time to be involved in space, right? With all of the partners that we have that are helping us in these missions, it's really the time. And, kids, many want to be astronauts, and that's wonderful, but not all are going to be astronauts. But there's a variety of careers, and that's what our focus has been, is helping them understand, yes, you can become an astronaut, here are some things that maybe could help you, but what other places in space are there for students? So if they enjoy science, they can be a researcher, or they can be an astronaut, of course, but there's so many other careers that they can do and be involved in the space industry, which is really exciting.
All right, final question for you. The most surprising thing about outer space?
Well, we spend a lot of time making sure that we don't surprise people when they get to space, right?
I guess you don't want to be surprised.
No, you don't want to be surprised. We like everything to be nominal, is a word you hear all the time at NASA. It's nominal. I think for me, the thing that it wasn't unexpected, like you expect to be amazed by Earth, right? When you see Earth from space, it's going to amaze you, but you cannot prepare yourself for the impact that it really has on you, on your mind, on your soul, when you see our beautiful planet from space. And it just never gets old.
Any plans for another trip?
Well, my 8-year-old son says, nobody's going to space anymore, Mommy. We're all done. But you never know. Maybe we'll go on a family vacation sometime to the moon.
There you go. Maybe so. One of these days. It has been such a pleasure speaking to both of you. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Now, let's head to Tennessee, where the STEM LD project from the Niswonger Foundation is changing the future by first changing the classroom.
The STEM LD project proposes to improve STEM culture in grades 6 through 12 in Northeast Tennessee, in rural areas primarily. We offer professional learning for teachers, outside of school time activities for students, including camps, clubs, and competitions, and advanced coursework for students in grades 6 through 12.
We do think that STEM LD has really impacted the culture at our school, especially in terms of the other teachers. We feel like other teachers have sort of taken notice that we are having this success, that there are students that are interested in these other things. We now are offering expanded engineering classes, and there's a lot of overlap between the robotics team and the engineering classes.
I know that it's going to be really hard to achieve my goals with that, but I know that STEM LD will definitely help me with that and help me push through.
The exhibit hall is officially open for business. Let's take a lap and see what exhibitors have to offer this year. Artificial intelligence is everywhere, from ChatGPT to the Google Cloud. AI is now a part of our daily lives. But the question is there a way we can utilize it in the classroom, and also, can we trust it? Well, our next guest has written a book asking that very question, and Dr. Rama Shalapa, a Johns Hopkins researcher and pioneer, is here in studio with us today.
Thank you, Adria. Thanks for having me on your show. I'm looking forward to our conversations.
Absolutely. Well, let's start with a very simple question. Is there a place for AI in the classroom? And the title of your book, Can We Trust It?
Definitely. There is a place for AI in the classroom. As you said in your introduction, it's everywhere. And I'm now calling it like it's oxygen, like it's kind of everywhere, right? And AI can personalize. It can watch how I do math, how I do science, and it will evaluate how good I am in my writing. I've been an educator, professor for close to 42 years now, but I teach older kids. And so how AI is going to help high school kids, even junior high school kids, is something that educators, school teachers have to really start thinking about and integrate AI into their day-to-day schedule.
For educators who may still have some level of skepticism about AI, how can we verify it? How can we let educators know, like, this science can be trusted?
Yes, absolutely. I say AI is like a very good friend with some flaws.
Okay.
And we all have friends with flaws, and we have flaws, right? But AI is a technology. It's a software system. It does talk to sensors, but it's a software system after, everything is said and done. Okay. So we can probe it, we can, fix it, we can make it better. Right now in AI, we are continuously monitoring and mining data.
Okay.
So that means as more data comes, we can make things better. And we also should be careful that we give it the right data, the correct amount of data, right? If you give flawed data, you make flawed inference. So AI is a friend, but you got to watch.
A friend you have to keep an eye on?
Yes, that's a good way to think about it.
Okay, I want to talk about the newly launched partnership between NSTA and Johns Hopkins, where we are already utilizing a little bit of AI with automobiles and technology.
Yes.
What's going on here?
Yes, well, Hopkins is the first research university in the country, right? So there are a lot of fantastic professors doing cutting-edge research. We want to bring that research through books in wavelength series and into classrooms, right? I wrote a book with Mr. Eric Naylor. He's a science reporter in Wall Street Journal. And so we wrote this book, and then it occurred to us, is there a way we can make a high school unit on AI? So I thought we will be able to make a unit that kind of touches on AI and how autonomous vehicles came about from the mid-'80s onwards. I think we are addressing a key idea whether, accidents and maybe deaths due to distracted driving can be reduced if there is an AI sitting in your car. Nowadays, even entry-level cars have these, blind spot detectors, right?
The sensors.
At night when it is raining, it's dark, you are driving, it's good to know that's watching for you, so you don't just, by mistake go to the other lane. Sometimes it may make mistakes, of course. Then we have to understand why, and then we put additional sensors maybe, or put some remedies in the algorithms, and then make it better.
Fascinating. Okay, where can people get a copy of your book if they want to?
Well, they can get it from Amazon, of course. They can also order it from Johns Hopkins University Press.
All right, thank you so much for your time today. Certainly appreciate your insight.
Thank you very much, Adria.
That does it for day 2 of NSTA TV. It has been a great day of hearing from first-time attendees, and hopefully you've learned some new and useful ways to avoid teacher burnout. If you missed any of today's program, we've got you covered. You can find all our content on the NSTA conference homepage, or on the TVs placed throughout the conference center, on in-house channel 89 here at the Omni, or in-house channel 80 at the Westin. And remember, we post all of our latest episodes and individual content on our Twitter and YouTube pages. Thanks so much for joining us here today. There is still one more exciting day ahead, and we hope you'll join us right back here tomorrow. See you then.